Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. If you're new to my channel, I hope that you consider subscribing to my channels. I would love to have you back. And if you watch this video till the end, you will find out what exactly the tech elite are planning with Web 3.0. What they have planned is truly evil, in my opinion, and we need to talk about it. So let's first break down Web 3. So what is Web 3? Well, Web 3 refers to the next generation of the internet based on the blockchain technology, the same technology that underpins cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum. The main idea behind Web 3 is that it can bring more openness, transparency, and democracy to the internet. Sounds great, right? That's what they want you to think. But let's take a closer look. What does that mean? Well, one of the key features of Web 3 is the idea of decentralized decision-making. Instead of decisions about how the internet is run being made by a small number of tech giants, Web3 proponents argue that they should be made by users through the use of blockchain technology. Blockchain technology allows people to come together and make decisions in a transparent and accountable way without the need for a central authority. Sounds absolutely wonderful, doesn't it? Again, that's what they want you to think. Another key feature of Web 3.0 is the idea of digital identity. So currently, most of our online identities are centralized with companies such as Facebook or Google. This means that these companies have a lot of power over how we present ourselves online and also over how others see us. Web 3, however, proposes a different solution. Proponents of Web 3 believe that we should have digital identities that are decentralized and controlled by us, the users. This would allow us to share only certain information about ourselves with certain people if we choose to do so, and not have big tech companies like Meta or Google deciding what information we can share and what information we can't. It would essentially eliminate doxing. But again, that's just what they want you to think because that's exactly where the problem begins. Let me explain. When your data is decentralized and in the hands of the people, no longer is Meta or Google deciding what information you can see and what you can't. It's the elites who decide what information you have access to. They'll decide what information they'll feed you, and you won't even realize it. Let me explain how this works in practice. In the current centralized system, Meta, for example, owns your data and they get to decide how it's used. However, in a decentralized system, your data would be stored on a blockchain, which is a public distributed ledger. This means that anyone with an internet connection can view your data. So in theory, yes, you would have more control over your own data. However, what if someone with bad intentions gets access to your data? For example, hackers could steal your identity and use it to commit fraud or other crimes. In a decentralized system, there is no central authority that can be held accountable for what happens to your data. So the responsibility ultimately falls on you, the user, to protect yourself against these threats. And the chances of an average person protecting their data effectively from criminals is very, very slim. What the tech elites are actually doing is they are creating systems that would give them access to your life, your personal life, your financial life, and you won't even notice it. If you want to learn more about the idea of blockchain identity, I will leave several resources in the description below. Now, let's move on to decentralized finance, the other aspect of Web 3 that the tech elites are very much interested in. Decentralized finance, or DeFi, refers to the use of blockchain technology to create financial products and services without the need for a central bank or other financial institution. These platforms offer a wide range of financial services including lending, borrowing, investing, trading, and more. All of these are done through smart contracts, which are basically computer programs that automatically execute certain actions when certain conditions are met. Here's the problem. While DeFi has the potential to make financial services more accessible and affordable, it also has some significant drawbacks. One major concern is the lack of regulation. Unlike traditional finance, which is highly regulated to protect consumers and the stability of the financial system, DeFi is largely unregulated. This means that investors are not protected against fraud, theft, or other abuses. There have already been many instances of DeFi users losing their money due to hacks, scams, or other security breaches. Another concern is the complexity of DeFi products. Many DeFi products are extremely complex and difficult to understand, even for experienced investors. This makes it difficult for ordinary people to make informed decisions about whether or not to use these products and also how to use them effectively. And although proponents of DeFi argue that its benefits outweigh its risks, the reality is that it's really hard to disagree with the fact that the risks are simply too high, especially for people who aren't tech-savvy. Most people don't have the technical knowledge to understand the risks involved in using decentralized finance. Despite these challenges, the tech elites are pouring billions of dollars into developing and promoting Web 3.0 technologies. Here's why, as I explained earlier, Web 3.0 gives those who develop and promote it full control over all aspects of our lives. We won't even realize it. Let me give you an example. One of the things that Web 3.0 enables is something called self-sovereignty. Self-sovereignty is a concept that's been gaining a lot of attention in recent years. It has the idea that individuals should have more control over their own lives and also over the technology that they use. Proponents of self-sovereignty argue that we should have the freedom to make our own decisions about how we live our lives without interference from governments or large corporations. And self-sovereignty is something that the tech elite are very much interested in. For example, one company that's been working on developing technology to enable self-sovereignty is Unstoppable Domains. Unstoppable Domains is a company that provides domain name services using blockchain technology. Their mission is to create a more open and decentralized internet, and they believe that self-sovereignty is a key part of achieving this goal. Their technology allows people to buy domain names that are not controlled by any central authority, such as ICANN or the government. Instead, these domain names are stored on the blockchain, which makes them more secure and also more resistant to censorship. However, while this technology may seem like a good thing for consumers, the reality is that it gives the tech elite even more power and control. Here's how. First of all, by developing this technology, companies like Unstoppable Domain are able to collect a lot of personal information about their users, information such as their name, their contact information, their IP address, and much more. This information can then be used to target these users with advertising or even to sell to other companies. Additionally, this technology makes it easier for the tech elite to track and monitor the activity of individuals on the internet. By having a centralized database of domain names, it's much easier to track how people are using the internet and what websites they are visiting. This information can then be used to target individuals with even more advertising or to try to influence their behavior in other ways. And in extreme cases, it can be used to censor or shut down websites and platforms that the government or the tech elite deem undesirable. So even though they market this technology as something that will give people more freedom and control, the reality is that it is just another way for the tech elite to consolidate their power and keep tabs on what you do. As we can see, Web3 is not going to solve the problems that it was created to solve. Rather, it will give the tech elite even more power and control over our lives. It will give them access to every single aspect of our lives, our finances, our health, our relationships, our work, and it won't even be obvious to us. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you might also like another video that I recently uploaded with the latest news on the digital ID agenda. You will find it linked below. If you like this video, give it a like and show your support. Subscribe to my channels and I will see you in my next one soon. Take care.